Maximizing Moments with Milton. Welcome to this audio experience. One, ha 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 ha. Two, ha 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 ha. Three. Hey, 9 questions to help find your voice today. Hey, Maximizers, thank you for joining me today. And I don't think I need to set this one up any more perfectly because I think the title says it for itself. 9 questions connecting you to your authentic voice. What are some questions that you and I can use so we can connect to our authentic voice, who we are, our calling, our purpose in life. And let's just jump right into it. So I want you guys really take this seriously. If you're driving, listen to it again when you have a chance to get to your pad or iPad or something. You can flesh this out with your hand or write it out or type it up and really take time to think about these 9 questions. Spend some time, a few minutes each question, really detailing it out and asking yourself truthfully these questions and being honest. Be honest with yourself, Maximizer. I don't want you to cheat yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you don't have the answers, it's okay to not have the answers to some of these questions, but I really want you to think about these questions. And as even if you're driving or running or listening, whatever you're doing while you listen to this podcast, think about these in your head, and I know it's going to help you to find your authentic voice and your calling purpose for your life. Because that's what I'm about. I'm about maximize the moments towards success in any given moment. And that's if I can help you do that to maximize the moment, then I've done my job. So let's jump into it. Hope you're as excited as I am, Maximizer. So here we go. Number 1 question is, what angers you? I think every superhero has and needs a bad guy. So without one, the superhero has nothing to fight against. Are there specific things that evoke a compassion, anger in you? What are those things, Maximizers? The key point of differentiation is this. It's not about road rage or poor service or leaving the seat up or toothpaste cap off or leaving your socks on the ground or not hanging up your pants when they come out of the washer or your shirt. I'm sorry, I'll digress. Um, we're talking about the systemic things that invoke a desire to intervene in a situation as an act of compassion, heroism, or to rectify a great wrong. So what angers you, Maximizer? There's something in life that angers you, and I want you to be very real and honest about those things that anger you in life today, things that you see around. And don't be nitpicky. Don't find something that divides. Find something that would bring people together, that angers you, that will see people lives changed. Okay? Here's a second question. What makes you cry? What makes you cry? Think about the last several instances that caused you to cry. And movies are fair game, so if you watch a movie like I have recently, where tear jerkers at the end, the little frog and caught in my throat and trying to get it out, and the tears sobbing and pausing and looking away from my wife because I didn't want her to see the tears flowing down my face. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. What makes you cry? I notice that I almost always tear up while watching stories of like underdogs who overcome incredible odds. Because I think I see myself in those underdogs, those people that are, life doesn't give them any chance, any leg up, but they overcome their circumstance situations. And I think even if you come into life where everything on the outside seems perfect and great and good, doesn't mean you don't have challenges too. But I'm just saying those people that you notice in life that are underdogs. I love sports, and if it's a sports story or somebody that was handicapped with some reason, or lost parents, or were raised by grandparents or other siblings, so they lost some tragic story. Or coming into this world and being abused as a child and overcoming that and still making something of your life. I think those are stories that grip me to my soul. But where this, it's children that are abused, and those that are living below their full potential. Think about that. That makes me cry when I see people living below their full potential. And that's a clue for you and me, that our greatest work is still ahead, and that we can still look at things that really, really pull at our emotional heartstrings. Okay. Number three, what have you mastered? Again, we're asking 9 questions to connect to your authentic voice. Number three is, what have you mastered? Are there tasks or skills or opportunities that you have simply mastered and can do without thinking? I mean, really, people look at you and wonder how. They kind of say, you know what, I don't really get that. It looks too challenging or hard for me, but you make it look very, very easy. That's a sign, guys, that if you know that you've mastered something, it's something that comes super easy to you, that you can do without thinking and wonder why everyone else can't do what you do. Know what you've mastered, and the clear signs of people said that to you. Even if you can't identify it yourself, ask somebody that you trust or admire. Ask them, what do you think that I do well, or I've mastered in my life, that, you know what, maybe I can show some other people how to do the same. Because when you ask that, that's that question, what you've mastered, you're tapping into low friction activities as a clue. These are low friction things that aren't hard for you. You're not working yourself up to them, and you're energized when you do them. And we learn through action and observation, then correction, when we're pursuing our voice. And it starts with what you do well, and work your way toward that goal. All right. So we're working our way towards a goal, understanding and uncovering our authentic voice, connecting to that. Because once we make that connection, I think that we now have power, we have life, and now once we connect to it, the next questions are to ask. And this is a whole different podcast, but what do I do next? And hope you'll listen in, and I can provide some nuggets for you, and some direction and some coaching to help you do that. If not, I'll take a second right here and pause, and you can find me at miltonherring.com/15min, miltonherring.com/15min, and we can connect and set up a 15-minute coaching call. Doesn't cost you anything. It's just for you to connect and share with me what you've found out to be your authentic voice, and I can help give you some direction or listen on what the things you can do with it next. And I'd love to be one of your cheerleaders when it comes to your purpose and your calling and your voice in life. All right. Back to our subject today. 9 questions that will connect you to our authentic voice. The fourth one is this: what gives you hope? What do you look forward to? What great vision do you have for your future and the future of others? Hope is a powerful motivator and can give you a clue to the ways in which you may be able to compel others to act. What gives you hope, Maximizer? What are the things that bring you hope and bring you joy? What do you look forward to? Is it coming home after a hard day at work? Is it seeing the light come on in one of your clients because now they've just connected the dots and understand how your service is benefiting them? What is it? What is it that you look forward to? What great vision do you have for your future and the future of others? Wow. Powerful, powerful questions. All right. So answer that question. Number 5 is, as a child, what did you want to do when you grew up? I've shared this. I really wanted to be an Air Force pilot. I wanted to be someone that was fighting a battle, looked up to by other people, wore a uniform, and commanded attention in public areas, and actually fought off a common evil for the greater good. Flying high, having access to weapons, and gunnery, and machines, and going fast. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. That's what I wanted to do when I was a child. And I think we often forget the earliest clues to our voice as we are burdened with the expectation of peers, teachers, parents, and eventually the marketplace. Or your job. A lot of times those small voices, or they were big when we were kids, and they get lighter and lighter and smaller and smaller and smaller as we get older and mature, and we run the course of a life, have experiences, hit the workplace, see that not everything like it was like what I thought when I was a kid. Having some naivety is okay, but not Common sense is another thing. But go back to that day and that time, that moment when you knew that you wanted to, what did you want to do when you grew up? What did you want to do? Ask that question. It'll give you a vast insight and expands your horizon and hint towards the limited, unlimited, limitless possibilities for your life. All right. This was good. I'm having fun going over this so far. Number 6 is this, Maximize. If you had all the time and money in the world, what would you do? It astounds me how few people have asked themselves this question, and it astounds me more how few people can arrive at an answer when they do. If I had all the time and money in the world, what would you do with your life? I remember going on a visiting a client and going on a trip recently, and I was traveling with a counterpart, and I asked him this question: what would you do if you had all the time and money in the world? And it's amazing that 99% of the time, 99, there might be that 1% that I've run into when I ask this question, they continue to do what they're doing in their career. But most people, 9 out of 10 times, will tell me that they'd rather be doing something differently than what they're currently doing. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. But I think it's a great question to ask. And really, I think what I hear is a limitation is our fear of falling short of our own self perceptions. And sometimes we can, we ask that question about what I would do and why I'm not in that particular situation currently. There's a lot of things, lack of resources, we think, or there's obstacles to our fulfillment or happiness or joy. But we place as limitations. It has nothing to do with really lack of money or time. It's just a decision that we decide to pursue and finding our voice and moving in that direction. Think on that one. Number 7, what would blow your mind? If you'd ask a question, what would blow your mind? List out everything that would thrill you if it were to happen, including relational things, business things, travel, ambitions, hopes, all the above, etc. It's a great way to identify patterns in your motivation. What would blow your mind? Message. Think about that one, Maximizers. Number 8. What change would you like to see in the world? If you could identify a single delta, a big change that you would like to see before you die, what would it be? What would be different about the world because you lived? Don't be afraid to think big, but be specific, Maximizer. You may not be the one to lead this change, but you may be able to play a significant role in it. By the way, think relationships here too. The biggest change you and I have the capacity to make is in the lives of others. What change would you like to see in the world? Wow, how powerful is that, guys? Here's question number 9. If you had one day left, how would you spend it? If you knew that you would pass away at the stroke of midnight, how would you spend your last day on earth? What questions would you ask? Who would you spend time with? What work would you do? Again, this is an interesting way to begin identifying the patterns within your passion, skills, and experiences. This is a basic leveling foundation of connecting to your authentic voice. And I slow my speech here because even listening to these, if my life were to pass away at the stroke of midnight, is what I'm doing now something that I would do at that point in time if I knew that day was coming, that time was coming? Would I still be doing this today? And the answer to that question is a resounding stand of applause, foot stomping, hand clapping. Yes. right here, me and you, speaking and encouraging you and prodding you down that path of finding and connecting to your authentic voice. Let me encourage you to take this time to find your voice, because I, Milton Herring, want to see you, Maximizer, fully alive. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you on the other side. Thanks for sharing this with those that this would encourage as well. God bless.